cold winter, the farm, covered in snow, seemed to be asleep. Snowdrifts filled every corner of the yard, and the cold air creaked under shoes and tires. The animals in the barn and stable were safe, but the farm lacked a place to hide from the snow during winter work. In the middle of the yard stood a tractor, the unsung hero of many challenges. Although winter was in full swing, the tractor had a new task ahead of it, building a small shelter that could serve as shelter from the winter elements. sudden snowfall caught the farmer off guard while he was working in the field, where he had just finished baling straw. The sky, still blue and calm in the morning, suddenly became covered with heavy, gray clouds. The snow began to fall thickly and unexpectedly, covering the field with a soft, white layer. The farmer looked anxiously at his bales, scattered across the field like giant golden parcels. He knew that if he didn't get them down quickly, the moisture would seep in, ruining all his hard work. The farmer, without wasting time, jumped into his tractor, which was parked in the barn. The engine roared in the frosty air, and the machine started, cutting through the snowdrifts. Fortunately, he had a trailer ready and a helper with a Cyclops loader to help him. Every minute was worth its weight in gold. The snow was falling harder and harder, and visibility was decreasing. The farmer had to act efficiently and precisely so as not to lose the bale in the white chaos. It became increasingly difficult to maneuver on the slippery field, but the tractor, thanks to its good tires, bravely coped with the task. Which had recently been golden with straw, was now covered in white fluff. Traces of the tractor were visible in the distance, the only evidence of its struggle with the winter elements. When the last bale was left, the snow began to fall even more heavily, turning the world into a white desert. The farmer felt relief as he loaded the last bale and headed for his barn. Once he reached the barn, the farmer had no time to lose. He knew that the snow and moisture could damage the quality of the straw if it was not brought under cover as soon as possible. After a quick unloading operation and the proper arrangement of the bales in the barn, the machines could finally rest after an intensive day of work. The tractor, loaded with a heavy trailer just a moment ago, was parked in a covered place on the edge of the farm. In the evening, over a cup of hot tea, the farmer looked out the window at the blizzard. It reminded him that in a farmer's life, each season brings new challenges, but also teaches him to be prepared for winter was in full swing on the farm. Snow had been falling steadily for several days, covering the entire yard, fields, and roads. A smaller utility tractor, which had been trying to deliver beets to silos, had become stuck in one of the snowdrifts in the field. Now it needed help. In the garage, the main tractor was resting after the previous day's hard work. However, when the news of the smaller colleague's problems came, it was immediately put into operation. It had a plow mounted on the front and a tow rope attached to the back, ready for any challenge. The tractor moved across the farm toward the field where a smaller tractor was stuck. Once there, the tractor saw its smaller colleague, which had almost completely disappeared under the snow. Using the tractor's tow hitch, he connected the rope to the frame of the buried tractor. Slowly, with force and precision, he began to pull the tractor out of the track. The snow resisted, but the tractor's powerful wheels refused to budge. After a few minutes of effort, the smaller tractor was free and could continue unloading the beets in the silos. After the rescue operation was completed, both tractors returned to the farmyard. The snow was still falling, but thanks to their efforts, the farm was passable again. On the edge of a quiet village, in a small farmstead in a wintry setting, lived a farmer who proudly kept his chickens. One morning when he got up, he noticed that part of the fence surrounding the farm was damaged. Traces on the ground indicated that someone had tried to get in during the night. The farmer looked towards the forest and saw several red shadows in the distance. They were foxes. He knew what this meant. Foxes were nearby, and their favorite treat was chickens. Without hesitation, he decided to repair the fence with the help of his favorite tractor.
Winter on the farm was beautiful, but also demanding. After heavy snowfall, vehicles and tractors that had set out across the river to get materials for work were stuck in deep snow. There was only one way to get them back: build a solid bridge over the river before the weather became even more severe.
One winter morning, the tractor that worked on the farm every day noticed something unusual. After a night of snow, snowdrifts covered the entire area, and the farm road was completely impassable. The tractor decided to face this challenge on its own. In a picturesque valley surrounded by green hills, there lived an extraordinary tractor called the VIP Golden Tractor. It was an exceptional vehicle, covered in shiny gold, with precious stone trim on the headlights. However, it was no ordinary tractor. It had a personality and wisdom capable of solving the most complicated agricultural problems. Today, two important tasks awaited it, which required both precision and strength. After completing these two tasks, the Golden Tractor, still gleaming from the effort, slowly moved towards the garage where his mechanical colleagues were waiting for him. Among them were machines that had seen more than one season of work, a heavy trailer, an old combine harvester with worn blades, and a loader that remembered the first harvests in the fields of the valley. a farm in the valley, the tractor faced a new challenge. After several weeks of rain, the roads leading to the fields had become muddy and difficult to drive on. The farmer decided to pave the main road so that the machines could move between the farm and the fields without any problems. This task required not only strength but also precision, so the tractor was the ideal candidate, even more precise and efficient. The yellow tractor was assigned to transport gravel and rocks from a nearby gravel pit. He hitched up a large trailer and set off. The gravel pit was on a hill, and the road to it led through steep inclines and narrow bends. When he reached the gravel pit, the loading of heavy gravel and rocks began. The loader lifted the material efficiently, and the tractor watched as the trailer filled to the brim. After loading, the tractor started back, more carefully this time, because the load was heavy and the road down was steep. The engine held power, and the wheels rolled steadily on the slippery surfaces. Upon arrival, the tractor carefully spread gravel on the designated section of road. Using additional tools, it hardened the surface, making the road even and strong. The stones were laid carefully, each layer strengthening the route that all the machines would soon drive on. When the job was done, the tractor slowly drove over the newly paved road, checking its quality. The road was smooth and ready for use. The tractor happily headed towards the farm, knowing that now working in the fields would be much easier, and he had helped everything run more smoothly. The farm was in turmoil when the farmer decided to build a new shelter for the tractors. The previous shelter was already too small, and the coming winter required a solid place where the machines would be safe from rain and snow. The tractor, as the main character of the story, knew that he had an important task ahead of him. To build the shelter, he needed wood, which could be found in the nearby forest. The farmer hooked up a large trailer to the tractor and sent it on its way. When everything was ready, the construction of the shelter began. Tractor watched with satisfaction as the new place of shelter grew before his eyes. Every beam and plank was carefully fastened, and the shelter took shape. After some time, the construction was completed. The new shelter was solid and spacious, ready to accommodate not only the tractor, but other machinery as well. The farmer smiled with satisfaction at his work, and the tractor proudly drove inside, knowing that thanks to his work, the farm now had a safe place for its vehicles.